Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to part 16 of our MotoGP career mode and of course in Moto 2. And today is time for the Spanish Grand Prix at Jerez, followed up by the French Grand Prix at Le Mans. Now we had a bit of a nasty race at Le Mans last year if I remember rightly. We were leading the whole race up to the last few corners where Sergio Garcia beat us. Now just a bit of a service announcement before we start. You might have noticed that there wasn't an episode on Sunday or Monday of this. Now if you watched Saturday's video you'd know all about Sunday because this series has been replaced on a Sunday by Retro Sundays. But there wasn't an episode yesterday because I've decided to dumb down the schedule for this a little bit and only do 3 videos a week on it. So I'll load the schedule on the top of the screen now. So if you just watch MotoGP round here, you'll be only interested to hear that these videos will come out on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Saturday at 8 PM respectively. Basically, I haven't really got time to be doing the 6 videos a week. It's quite a commitment to record pretty much every day. This, bear in mind, it's, just to put yourself in my shoes, it's roughly about an hour and a half or 2 hours to record these 2 races, which seems absolutely bonkers for you guys watching it. It seems like much more of a quick one than that, but obviously practicing, qualifying, and you're doing a serious amount of laps really to practice and qualify around these circuits. Of course, multiply that by 2 races and there goes your figure. So yeah, I'm going to reduce this to 3 videos a week. Again, apologies for that. I didn't really want to do this, but there are other priorities and I need to make sure it's not just all about MotoGP. As much as I love you viewers that watch MotoGP, I have got YouTube commitments as well as other commitments, so I need to manage those appropriately, and hopefully perhaps if I do get time I might be able to squeeze another video in there on Monday at 8 PM because there is a free spot in there, so we'll have to see how we get on. But for this week it's Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, right, Saturday, sorry. So once now that's over we can talk about the motorbikes, which is what we should talk about. Now last time out we had the Argentinian GP in which we qualified, I think it was in 10th place, and then got shoved off the bike by Brad Binder and recovered to 15th place. And then we had a fairly dominant result in America when we won the US Grand Prix at COTA. So I have adjusted the II very slightly to 104% from 102%. Sorry, to 104% from 102%, just to see how we get on. But as I say, throughout the season I'll try and nudge that as and when possible. But for the moment we are the joint leader of the Moto2 Championship along with Lorenzo Baldassari. Now it's time for the 4th race of the season at Jerez. There you go though, so first place again in this session. Now I think I'm going to have to acknowledge that we are going to have to move the difficulty up quite a bit now. It seems that we've had the game for a few weeks, so I'm getting a bit better at the game. Probably handling the Moto 3 bikes allows me to bring more speed into the Moto 2. I don't know, possibly, but I think what we've seen at previous races, it's gone one of 2 ways. We've either dominated even more in the qualified sessions, as in extended that gap, or the other riders have really brought it to the table in the qualifying sessions. So don't take this as absolute pace, but of course unless something drastic has happened, yeah, as you can see, we are through to Q2. First lap time then, we are literally just behind whatever the fastest is. We were 0.026, so 200ths behind, but it looks like we have now taken that fastest lap. That's a faster lap than we have done the entirety of the weekend, I believe, a 44.7, so let's see if the AI can compete with that. But as I say, if we do take pole and easily win here like we did in COTA, I will move the difficulty up, but for the rest of the weekend there's not much I can do.
Hello and welcome to the Jerez de la Frontera circuit. Just a few more minutes before the Moto 2 race at the Spanish Grand Prix finally begins. The skies over the track are clear of clouds and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average.
Looks like a very nice day here at the Circuito de Jerez. Now we have qualified on pole, I'm going to be honest, and we've qualified there by about a second, so I guess if we win this and win it by quite a margin, we will have to move the difficulty up, but I've got no problem with that. Marshall Schrotter starts in P2 with Tom Luthi also on the first row in P3. Everybody else quite competitive though, so I think if we do move the difficulty up, then we will be within that competitive pack. And that'll make things very exciting. We did get the right difficulty at one point, but ever since we have moved up to Moto 2, funnily enough, the difficulty actually needs to be higher, which is bizarre if you think about it. But 33 riders on the grid. Hopefully we have a start like that. I appreciate that it won't be exciting for you if we have a start like that, but let's see how we get on anyway. Our starts and first laps are usually our weak points. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Here we are then. Revs up, lights on. lights out, clutch out, and we are away for this Grand Prix. A little bit of a wheelie at the start, which doesn't really help our position too much. As you can see, we have been losing 1 or 2 positions on the start. Just whacked that flex box bike. I think that's Baldassarri. Jesus Christ! Wow! Wow, wow, wow. I'm not going to flashback. Let's watch that back, shall we? We have been relegated to the bottom of the grid purely because there was nowhere for us to go. A huge crash for Tom Luthi. Look at this. Unfortunately, I can't go forward on the grid. Now what happened? Look at the first 2. It's the top 2, I think, who had the incident. No, I think it's this one, if you look, who's in sort of 4th/3rd coming on the inside. Ooh, the one in 3rd. Yeah, the one who comes on the inside just hits Tom Luthi's bike and sends him up. Wow. And of course, there's another one that goes. Our teammate takes another one out. If you look on the right-hand side, because there's just a bottleneck now to this corner, we've seen, oh my god, he's gone off. We can't go wide. So we've got whoever's on the outside pushing in like mad. We've got our teammate there, and we push into our teammate. Another one off, and because he goes off, then he pushes into our teammate's bike. Luckily, number 23, whoever that is, it might be Marcel Schrotter perhaps, gets out of that. But we're just pushed along by this stationary bike on the floor and our teammate. And now we have a massive upfield battle. What a massive, dramatic start that is. I don't think I've seen such a dramatic start in our Moto2 season. And unfortunately, unbelievably, even though there's been 2 people that have fell off the bike, it's Marcel Schrotter who finished up in 25th. So that's quite an interesting start. Unbelievably, out of just pure unluckiness and actually not falling off the bike, we're the man who's in last place of this race. I've never seen in my MotoGP 19 career such a bonkers start as that. That was absolutely mad. Tom Luthi flying off the bikes. Somebody else flew off. I don't know who that was, but what a start and what a dramatic start that is, and what a flipping of the grid. We've got Schrotter, Di Gianantonio, Baldassarri, all not in the points at the moment, so this could really change the championship up at this early stage. But now we've just got to get into gear and finish as well as we can here. Right, hopefully making our first move on Ben Schneider here up the inside. Somebody else gone wide. That's Tom Luthi in 31st. So yeah, he's been really damaged. But Marini going very wide, so we'll take that off him. Maybe try and get up the inside of Luthi. We haven't. Locatelli's gone wide there. So a few places gained. Oh, Baldassarri going slow. We tapped him at the first corner. I apologise for keep hitting Baldassarri, but we're getting really good run through this last sector just because everybody else is getting so held up. Really, just held up and slowed down. Oh, not the best entry into that corner, admittedly. Marcel Schrotter goes for it back, and Navarro leads the race. It's Gardner in 2nd, Bulliger in 3rd. Not sure who Nag is, I must admit. So that is a massive change in the grid from the start, purely because the top 2 fell off, who were leading into the first corner. The top 2 who had quite a poor start, myself and Schrotter, got held up on the outside line. And our teammate, who also started, who was actually there, who started in 4th place, also got held up. What a dramatic start that is. Another victim of that first corner incident must have been Alex Marquez, who's just ahead up in 19th place. So we have really got a good change of the guard here, because you've got, and with Gardner setting the fastest lap, what a good pun that is. But the problem is we've got a lot of riders who probably haven't scored any points this season in the points. And a lot of us who do score points out of the points, and Marquez being pushed out, us being pushed out a little bit, but the Petronas bike still pushing Alex Marquez out of that corner. That's quite dirty, but we'll take the place. And it's Pawi who did that, so that's a bit dirty from Pawi if I say so myself. But hopefully we can get past him without as much trouble. We're a bit ruthless, so just whack him out of the way. Sam Lowe's still not in the points. Oh, getting very wayward there, just trying to push to get back into the points. But Sam Lowe's not in the points. I'm surprised he hasn't fell off the bike yet. I feel a bit harsh saying that, but oh well, it stays in there. There's the points playing positions then. P15 is Jorge Martin. Card Lewis is in front of him. Now I reckon we can probably finish top 10 here. Probably maybe in the front of this train here. I don't think we'll go any further forward than that. We'd have to have mega lap times to try and finish any further forward than that. Just trying to assess. So 7th place probably our best here, but the priority is just getting some points. In battle with Martin, coming around the corner. Oh, he keeps it for now. Of course, Brad Binder's teammate. So us and the KTM team have got a bit of history, but we go past him nicely, and we've got a good run on Cardelus down the straight. And that's P14. Don't want to break too late into here. I don't think we've got a chance to take Tulovic. Like Jake Dixon is a name that's in the points, and he's pretty much usually down the back of the grid. That just shows how much of an effect that first lap had. But 14th place for now. I reckon probably in 2 laps. I reckon we can get to the front of this train, but no further than that. And thank you very much, Tulovic. Oh, he's not leaving much space. But I did see a gap, and if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. Good old Ayrton Senna, eh? Legend. But wrong sport. Well, I suppose not wrong sport, but wrong class, and equally wrong number of wheels. P13 anyway, but Jake Dixon, as you can see, a little bit out of his depth, and we're up now to P12 past him. And we're taking the unorthodox route round some of these corners, I suppose you could say. But up to P11 now. I'll stay with this, because I think we'll probably be able to get up to P7 sometime soon. Roberts in P8. Agata trying to go for the move on Roberts. That's going for an interesting gap. As you can see, the leader's going to set probably about the same sort of lap time as I am, so shows how quick they are. 3 tenths above, but that's only, like I say, because of the fact that they're in clean air. I'm having to take different lines to overtake people. Now around the outside, just take the pure racing line, and that's Agata dealt with. Marquez not move forward, clearly. Whoa! Jesus! Dominic Agata just, well, should we see, oh, hang on. Should we see that one again? Feels like we're doing the replays all the time in this episode. There's been 2 crashes, and I think that's more of I've seen in any race. Now, Dom Agata, we overtook him. He obviously got quite aggrieved. And at this point here, we turn in. Thinks, oh, there's a bit of a gap on the inside. Massively misjudges the brake, and you can see from the speed he's carrying in. And not only takes himself out, he could well have took both out there, but as you can see, whoa, takes himself out. I do not know how the other guy stayed on there. That is absolutely amazing, goodness knows. But that, oh, it's Otto who was the man who stayed on. Goodness knows how he stayed on after being clattered into, but hopefully we'll regain that position. I think the third of these KTM bikes, but Dominic Agata, goodness knows what happened there. That was worse than the first corner crash in terms of severity, but thank you very much. We'll take him on the straight. DJ Antonio hasn't moved up either, so a great opportunity to gain on our championship rivals. But Roberts might be a little bit tough to get, but I think as soon as we get Roberts, it'll be race over, because I can't see us making that gap. As you can see, it's a big gap to those ahead. The guys ahead are 2.5 seconds up the road, so we're not going to be able to take them with just 2 corners to go. But a very good recovery, considering after the last corner, at the first corner even, we were in last place. Quite unbelievable that race was, but a good recovery. Up to 7th place. Jorge Navarro continues the speed up winning record and wins on the bike. I'd rather it go to nobody else but him. He's the preferred candidate for a win out of anybody, but good race from us in the end considering the circumstances. Remy Gardner 2nd, Nagashima in 3rd. So the top 2 really pulled out a gap. Bulliger 4th, Vierge 5th, and Bastianini in 6th. Really names that I've got no idea of, but the big names all out of the points. Marquez 16th. Who else have we got? DJ Antonio 25th, Schrotter 27th, of course Agata 28th, Baldassari 29th, Luti 30th, Marini in 31st, and the championship now looks like this. Oh, we're 1 point ahead of our teammate Jorge Navarro. As you can see, the likes of Remy Gardner, Nagashima have massively gained because of one great result, which is a little bit controversial, I suppose. But a big race, really. There you go. Joe Roberts scored his first points of the season. That's a definite there. So did Otto and probably Corsi. But crazy race, really. And same goes for Jake Dixon. So a bonkers race. I'm going to turn the AI up to probably 110 and see what sort of challenge we get in Le Mans. Still on top then in P3, but as you can see the margin's a little bit less. It's about 7 tenths. I'm surprised, really, now we've increased difficulty to 110% rather than 104%. But I'm guessing, I suppose, again, it's the whole qualifying thing. I'm on 2 soft tyres. The rest are pretty much on medium fronts and soft rears. So whether when they switch to the softs in qualifying, whether that makes a difference, we'll have to see. But I presume we have got through, once again, yeah, we've got through to Q2. Only half a second is the difference. So hopefully the AI give us a challenge and come up to the challenge in Q2. This looks like a pretty good delta. 7 tenths up, so nearly 3/4 of a second up on Baldassari's first lap. I think Baldassari's the only one to set a time. I'm just amazed, really, at our extent of how quick we are compared to the rest. I don't think I'm that good at the game. Okay, you could say, well, turn tyre wear off, tyre wear on and all that sort of thing, but again, I've expressed my reasons not for doing so before, but this could be quite tight in the end. It wasn't the cleanest end to the lap, actually, and it's only a 39.9, so only a tenth above Baldassari, so we might need another lap here, but again, if we do, you know, go pretty much a lot quicker, the only reason we didn't really win that last race is purely because of the fact that the AI got the better of us at the start, and certainly did with us falling to the back of the field. But I think race pace is a little bit better if you look at the past races, probably apart from the Kota race. Oh god, we're nearly a second off in that sector, that's not great. Apart from that Kota race, we were fairly close to everyone on race pace, so I think it's probably race pace that we need to look at in terms of difficulty, so I think that's just about okay. We've been knocked off our perch of pole by Alex Marquez, a very close time to our own. We can definitely improve on that time, it's just keeping it clean, I suppose, throughout the last few corners. And let's see how we get on in this sector. How far are we up or down on Alex Marquez? We're 3.5 tenths up, so it's clear that we have definitely got the pace, but this last sector we need to get right. We were 7.5 tenths up on Baldassarri before, and then mucked up this last sector. I think it was the last corner, to be fair, getting a wheelie out of it, but oh, that's a bit wayward out of there. Last two corners though, let's keep it focused. Could be the difference between pole and not getting it. At the last corner, what's it going to be? Ooh, 3 tenths improvement of 1:39.692. Will that be good enough for pole?
What's going on, race fans? We're joining you from the Le Mans circuit for live coverage of the Moto2 race at the Grand Prix of France. The skies over the track are clear of clouds and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average.
It's all about the seasonal average so far this season. Blimey, every race has been, well, it's a seasonal average. I think it rained in Argentina, didn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it did. But everywhere else, it was nice and dry. But as you can see, Alex Marquez starts second, which means that we are on pole position. 3 tenths clear of anybody else, but not such an advantage, a massive advantage anyway. Only 3 tenths to the delta. But Alex Marquez starting in second. I think Baldassarri in third. I'm just trying to figure out where Marcel Schrotter is. I have a feeling he's on the number 33 bike. That's a bit of a cut at the first corner. That's not my problem. But yeah, let's get on with this race. Then, as I said, our starts aren't the best, and we've such a long straight at the start. This doesn't exactly help us out, but I suppose it does level out before the first corner. But it's a big slipstream straight this is, and a tight corner to get into. Based off the Jerez start, this could be quite nasty. The lights are on for the riders, and the race is underway here in Moto2. Getting a little bit wayward at the start there. Just trying to move over to the right a little bit. But to be fair, actually, our start has not been that bad. Everyone's been held up so much that I think there hasn't been much of a problem. But Vierge has had a fantastic start up to third for now. But we're going to go up the inside of him. Not so chaotic at the first corner than I thought it would be, actually, to be fair. We've lost first and second, but apart from that, we are still in third place. Not much of an issue from behind. So it's Marquez at the front of the field. Oh, we've won way wide there, but again, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Vierge being in fourth might be a bit of a stopgap, actually, between the top 3 and fourth place. But that being said, there could be a stopgap between second and third. We're struggling to keep up with Baldassarri and Marquez in the early stages here. I suppose it's all about getting into the groove. Schrotter all the way down in 17th, so he's had a particularly bad free race, as well as Bezecchi, who is down there as well. Gap shortened definitely down there to Baldassarri. A little bit of a wide entry, but allows better acceleration coming out the corner, he says. And that's not too bad, but just keeping the gap to Marquez and Baldassarri. Navarro in 5th place, so a good race from him so far. He could well be a championship rival, our teammate, but DG Antonio quite a poor through a few races really lately, so I think his championship could be going a little bit sour. But as you see, we kind of made a move on Baldassarri there, but broke way too late. Vierge clearly being a stopgap between third and fourth, so just trying to keep the top 2 and see how we get on in this race. Definitely got good slipstream out of that last corner. You know how good we can be at that last corner. If we're wheelie out of it, we're terrible. But good slipstream. It's all about who's the bravest on the brakes into this first corner. But the first corner isn't the be-all and end-all here. We can get something done at other points of the track. Now, earlier in our career, we would have gone for a move like that and gone for a stupid move like that. But given what's on the line and what's on the line here, that would be a dangerous one. But there's a little bit of space up the inside there, but Baldassarri defends it quite nicely. As you can see, the gap to Vierge increases more and more and more. So he's holding up the rest quite nicely. But Baldassarri struggling to get out of that corner, so we'll brake. Can we get back past him? Looks like we can made the move, and the move's done. Baldassarri, one mistake. Obviously, he'll stay quite close, so any mistake from us could be quite a worry and could be punished quite a bit. But right up the back of Marquez now. Let's see how we get on against him. Oh, Baldassarri going for the move, but we'll just defend it on the inside. That's the difference between taking different lines, I think. He's just gone for the quick entry and had to brake late, whereas we've just gone for the effective overcut at that corner, braking early and then getting out of it quicker, which I think seems to work. Very close now to Alex Marquez. I think we'll probably set up a move on him on the straight. It'd be stupid to go for it at one of these tight corners. That'd just be too dangerous. So let's just keep it composed around these 2 corners. Get a good run down around this next one. and set up a potential move on the straight. As you can see, our acceleration's pretty good out the corner. We've got Slipstream on the Spaniard. As you can see, our fastest lap 3 tenths better than Alex Marquez, just trying to pull out to the inside. That's probably too far up the inside, but interestingly, Tom Luthi with a very good lap. He's down in 8th place, but he could be a bit of a challenge potentially come the end of the race, but it seems the AI are a bit now on our level. But Marquez still keeping that out of the first corner, probably a little bit distracted by the fact that Tom Luthi went quickest there and the fact that we didn't exactly take the best line, but again, we're still fighting with him. Baldassarri seems to have fell away from this battle quite a lot, so he might have made further mistakes on the lap like he did to ensure that we went past. Now I'm going to stay on the outside line, see how this goes. He's going to get it into the corner, but he might have to brake a little bit later, leaving a bit of a gap. We're going to push him out, but not too much. And to be fair, just out of pure acceleration out of that corner, we managed to take the Spaniard, and for now, we're top of the pops. We've just gapped the rest of the field. As you can see, we're about 2 seconds ahead of Marquez. This proves in clear air we're probably the best rider in Moto2 at the moment with the current difficulty. Again, we might have to tweak that difficulty, and there has been another update for the game since recording, so it might be the case that we have to move back up to something we were at before the first update, which was sort of near 120%, and looking at our pace now, that's going to be the difficulty we're going to need to get a serious challenge. It's fair to say the second half of the race has been a lot more lacklustre and boring than the first half, but equally it's just been pulling out a lead and making sure we get a well-deserved win. Good pace all weekend, good pace in the race. Again, a little bit of a poor start as usual, gave us a little bit of a mountain to climb. We got up that mountain fairly quickly like it was a little hill, and we have pulled out a very good gap since then. So even though we've moved up to 110% difficulty, we're going to have to move up even more. Apologies about the phone chime, text, whatever you want to call it. The phone ringtone, that's the one in the background. If you just heard that there, probably me not putting my phone on to sign up. Anyway, on to more important issues. At the final corner we come, and we are going to win the French Grand Prix here at Le Mans. We were robbed of it last year in Moto3, and to win it by such a margin this year means so much. As you can see, our fastest lap a lot quicker than anybody else's, really, and that puts the championship at the end of today's episode like that. We pull out a 15-second gap. Interestingly now, on Jorge Navarro, it seems that there's kind of a free horse race for the championship already. Marquez has fell out of the battle a little bit purely because of a few poor races. Same goes for Marcel Schrotter. But throughout the scene's been an interesting battle. Our teammates just behind us. That puts us top of the constructors with Jorge Navarro. And it makes it very interesting to see how we'll get on the rest of the campaign. But Baldassarri and Navarro, two very good riders. Of course, Navarro taking the first win of the episode. So 2 wins from 2 for the Speed Up team today. And I think is it 3 wins out of 5 for the Speed Up team? Possibly 4 wins out of 5. I think we won in Qatar, didn't we, if I remember rightly. So yeah, 4 wins out of 5 for the Speed Up team, apart from in Argentina where things were interesting, to say the least. I think it was Schrotter who won in Argentina. So a pretty near perfect record for the Speed Up team at the start of this Moto2 season. But that'll be it for today's episode, of course, folks. As I said at the start of the episode, we'll be back on Thursday for the next episode, and we'll do the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello, followed by the Catalonia Grand Prix at the Barcelona-Catalunya circuit. Just so you guys can see, I'm going to turn the difficulty up to 115%. Not quite going to get to 120 yet. 115% for the next episode to see how we get on. We're also going to make a few changes. We will improve the engine brake and also spend the rest of the development points on the engine. So our bike is definitely coming along quite nicely now. So Alex Rins won the MotoGP race and Antonelli won the Moto 3 race. Let's have a look at the championships just quickly before the end of the episode. It is Valentino Rossi who leads the championship. Nice, great stuff. And then in Moto 3, who's leading it? It is Dalla Porta once again. Poor guy, didn't get promoted last year, but very close there, as you can see, after a few races. And I don't think the Rookies Cup... Oh, it has started. Okay, it started at Jerez. So Salvador won that again. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'll be back on Thursday, so make sure you do leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment about what you thought about the... Subscribe for regular... I can't say daily anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Subscribe for regular MotoGP content on the channel. But until the next time, thank you all very much for your company today. I have been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.